Right, guys, what did I miss?
Well, we're going to show you the character progression system now, because what you missed last time is that they took the Crystarium and turned it into a physical place that you can go into, so we don't get to have that anymore. Instead, we have this.
I don't understand why they would do that.
Well, you see, the Crystarium is now the data log. And boy, let me tell you about the data log.
Oh yeah, that's it. They put... The Crystarium is a physical place you can go into, and inside of it is the data log.
What? No.
Right, anyway, so let's talk about promotion. This is how you unlock new abilities. It's got a little mix of everything. There's some passive abilities, there's some active abilities. You can usually tell which ones are which just based on the, which ones are, upgrades and which ones are actual abilities. But yeah, so everybody's got a set of... They've got a set of ones that are shared with everybody, and then they've got a couple that are unique to them. So, for example, Sync here, her Earthquake ability, that's something that's unique to her. But, the Intel and the Focus, or not Focus, that's one of hers, but, Intel, and there's ones that increase your ability to dodge. Those are ones that everybody gets.
Okay, so is that... What do the icons mean? Is the icons, indicative of who gets the command?
Well, yeah, where it says, so, the one for, Cyclone Drive there, that is an active ability. That's one that we could equip on him to use in combat. The plus stuff are upgrades to a certain given one, and, the little circle abilities are passives.
Alright, so how do we get APs?
You get a set amount of AP every time you level up.
Alright.
Huh.
Seems fairly straightforward.
If a little bit esoteric. I mean, whatever.
Oh, and it's called promotion because military academy, right? Are there ranks associated with it? Do we get to be a 4-star general when we upgrade our earthquake to magnitude 10?
No. No, that would be... See, that would be, funny. So, that's not how we roll here.
It seems like it would be entirely in keeping.
Is Ace gonna get to be a full metal guy when he gets good enough at cards?
Would that be more or less ridiculous than what actually happens in the remaining double-digit number of hours of this?
Oh,
Don't answer that.
I have a special message on
Wasn't
my call.
gonna.
Special message? Yes. It appears that the Moogle is calling
Who's
us
Cater
all to a
again?
meeting.
Which number is that?
4.
So
Oh,
let's go back to the
so
past
she's the
and ask
chef
Moogle
then,
what it's
I'm
about.
guessing.
Yes.
Lol.
And what's it called
If being called Cater makes her the chef, then what's Deuce?
We had a long conversation about Deuce's name last time around.
Is what the letters in COM stand for. Or so
Oh,
I'm
they
told.
made up a cutesy acronym for CALM.
Of course they did. That whole thing was definitely a conversation that humans would have.
Oh, see, we didn't tell you about the other acronym that they made up.
I'm terrified to ask.
Hang on, let me go.
Yeah, I don't remember what they made it up to be, but the thing that is an acronym now is Moogle.
I'm still terrified to ask.
Alright, so anyway, yeah, this is just, we're starting our first mission here, so...
Alright.
I like the tombery.
Oh yeah, that's Kurisame's little pet.
Cool. A pet tombery. That seems fun.
We have to recapture McThigh? I was trying to come up with a funny joke about a McDonald's special there, but nothing really materialized.
I'm a big fan of the giant glowing mission day marker.
Oh, okay, here it is, I got it. So, Fadul, our friend Moogle, let me tell you, he is officially known as the Military Operation Organization Guidance Logistics expert.
Aww. Ardix was very certain you were gonna respond to that with a very audible fuck you, but I like the quiet aneurysm. It has a certain kind of dignity to it.
I don't want to be on this project anymore.
But we're about to go to actual gameplay.
I don't think I care. Like, what is left to care about?
Did you remember to scan your Oyster card just then? Or are we gonna get a huge fine when we come out the other side of the mission?
I get it. I understood that reference. I'm gonna bet that possibly Artix did not understand that reference.
This is some very, like, intense music for what's actually happening, which is we walked through, I guess, the mission turnstile.
Yeah, we're clocking into the office. It's mission day. Do you think they wake up and the alarm goes and it's a slightly different alarm and they're like, oh yeah, it's mission day? Nah, me either.
That's what we've been listening to this entire time. Oh, it has a world map?
Yes, this is an actual world map.
In Final Fantasy 13?
There's not a lot on it.
Well, you know, PSP game.
Oh, right, shit. I keep forgetting.
And it's even got random encounters.
Man, it's nothing sacred. Like, it just seems like the exact opposite kind of game than one that would have random encounters.
Didn't he get a melee attack when you were leveling him up?
Yeah, but you know, I'm not actually going to be using Ace for this mission anyway, so I really don't care if he gets beat up.
Alright. I hear this game is like weird about reviving people who go down. Is that true?
Sort of? It's not something we'll have to worry about right now anyway.
Ace doesn't seem like he's really super suited to taking advantage of the, like, strategically taking advantage of those death blow red circles. Because there's like a second...
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, but yeah. That is one of the drawbacks of Ace. His attacks are very slow.
I'm a fan of, like, the hey, do you want to fight even more prompt?
Yeah. Okay, so, for an actual mission, the game kind of runs you through 3 checks, which is kind of weird, but basically the first one it's asking you, who do you want to take with you on this mission? There is generally not much reason to not just take everybody, but it doesn't really matter.
So does, like, the order at least matter, or...?
Yes, the order does matter. The order of your people will determine who comes out next after somebody dies.
Ah. That's a very healthy thing to always be aware of.
Well, they are like...
And then at this point, we're picking which characters we're actually going to use in our party to start. So, there is no rhyme or reason to who I picked, I just kind of picked a couple names out of a hat. So, we are today rolling with King, Sync, and Machina.
Who is the new kid on the block. He's the guy who's not allowed to know that we eat people's souls after we kill them.
Oh yeah, let's keep that one quiet, I guess. That seems healthy.
So, King's gimmick, as you can see, is that he uses guns. This gives him 2 massive advantages in that, first of all, his attack is ranged, and it is very important to always have at least one ranged character with you. Because there are a lot of times they will just stick enemies up on ledges, and if you don't have the ability to shoot them or to cast magic at them, you're SOL.
Is this like the mythical JRPG where, like, guns are actually acknowledged to be really good?
Yeah. So, yeah, King is like the second best character in the game. But yeah, so yeah, not only is he ranged, the fact that he uses a pistol means that his attacks are basically instantaneous.
So, like, if King doesn't know about Phantoma, does he still, like...
No, King does. King is a card kid.
It's Machina who isn't.
Right. If Machina doesn't know about Phantoma, do they all, like, still see all the weird lights coming out of people and then into their own guys, and they're like, hey, what's that? And they're like, it's just a light show.
Yeah, no, they still can see them and they can still harvest them, but they don't really...
Oh, they harvest them as well.
Yeah, they just don't kind of get what they are, is the catch.
Yeah, this seems healthy.
Machina's not too bright, is he?
No, he's not.
Because that seems like a connection that you would be able to make.
Sorry, what was that about level design?
Why did he just scream at the barricade? He started aiming at it and he was like, "Grr, I hate this wall."
Oh yeah, you weren't here last time. This is a system that basically, if you turn it on, it will occasionally replace your party members with special guest characters. And, you know, some of them are references like, hey, like, this is the level designer, this is the voice actor for some character, or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember that bit.
Anyway, the last thing with King is that you notice he does have an ammo counter. That's kind of his main drawback, is that every 12 shots he has to reload, which doesn't take long, but it's, you know... It's a pretty minor annoyance compared to how good he is overall, but...
This game is revolutionizing JRPG's understanding of firearms.
You do have infinite ammo, for what it's worth. It's just you have to reload.
Nothing's perfect. But yeah, I like that. I guess, like, the bonus characters or whatever are, like, slightly specific to missions. Or are they, like, just completely generic?
No, they're just summoned randomly.
Yeah, I mean, like, when it says, like, level designer, that means, like, they're a level designer, not, like,
Katase's here.
Made this.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, for example.
Cool. I guess this doesn't really count as a post Metal Gear Solid 5 game, then, in that sense. Oh well, we can dream.
Do they have voice lines too?
No, those are enemies. So yeah, Sync uses a big fuck off mace. That's her gimmick.
We need more JRPG schoolgirls using enormous blunt weapons.
It seems kind of cumbersome.
It's a little bit. It's actually legitimately really hard to hit stuff with Sync, but when you do, they die. Like, I mean, you can see, like, it takes 2 hits to just fucking wipe out that turret.
Right. Well, it's good to see that, like, the weighty animations kind of feed into how effective it actually is.
Yeah, like, you can see me having, some difficulty here.
There's an art to good, weighty animations.
And she should have forearms like cantaloupe melons.
Yeah, but that would ruin the aesthetic. And we can't have that now.
I think it would improve it.
It would change it. Oh, I see we're Ocarina of Timing out of here.
You can trust me.
Yeah, I did that, and then I was like, wait, fuck, Machina's back. He has the ability to run faster.
Oh, is that his superpower?
No, that's one of the passive abilities that I got for him, was Accelerate, so he runs faster.
Yeah, it always seems kind of weird when, like, different JRPG characters are, like, appreciably different at the most basic act of navigating around the game. And just the whole notion of skills that you use on the map. It just ends up feeling so, like, superfluous.
I'll help.
You know what? I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. If Machina has the ability to make the game be over faster, you know, I'm not gonna complain about that.
Guitarist for chicken. What?
Yeah, for Bump of Chicken, the guys who did the theme song.
Okay, right, okay. I can totally believe that that's the actual name of the band.
Now, I have to know, is that the same people who don't believe that I can ride this chocobo? Or is this a different chicken band?
I don't think so, but I don't actually know who did that rendition of the Chocobo theme.
You mean the only rendition of the chocobo theme?
I think it's just credited internally to whoever was the lead composer for 13.2. I don't know if it was done by like a band and licensed or something.
Alright, so yeah, like, these guys up here, it is actually blocked if you try to go around and up that staircase. So you literally cannot kill those guys unless you have a ranged option. So the game does that a lot, and that's why it's so important to keep somebody around who can either shoot people or cast magic.
You could absolutely go up those stairs. What is this crap? So can you swap into one of your, like, backup characters if necessary?
Yes and no? Like, actively swapping out a character from your active party is really cumbersome. So, like, a lot of the times it's, like, unless you add... Because you don't have to kill everybody.
You'll go no further.
It's like, hey, you should, but you don't have to. So, like, if it comes down to it, you can just, leave the area.
Just seems like kind of a failure of game design that it's possible for party choice to screw you over like that.
Oh, that's an interesting little mechanic that just... You might have missed it there, but what happened was I killed the leader, and because of that, once you kill the leader, all of the grunts, like, they stop fighting. So if you, like, aim at them, they automatically have a kill sign on them.
That seems... Why?
Well, that also ties into a mechanic that'll come in later where you can capture enemy soldiers instead of, like, murdering them and just taking their Phantoma, but for right now, there's really no reason not to.
So they give up and they're like, alright, I guess, don't shoot me or whatever.
I guess you killed my commander. That means that I have to, like, unconditionally surrender and just let you murder me now. That sounds about right.
Maybe Mother Dearest fucked with their heads, so they're actually, like, surrendering, screaming, please don't kill me, but, like, they have a brain chip that blocks that out.
Let me help.
Ah. I too have watched Black Mirror.
I mean, they already just forget that their friends existed when they die, so,
Oh, right. Oh, shit. That's a thing from last video that you... Oh, so they all have weird... there's something weird about the crystal or whatever that means when someone dies in combat, everyone who knew them forgets they ever existed.
Cool. That... So, like, I gotta ask... Are we the baddies?
I think we might be.
I think we're the baddies.
We're definitely... Well, let's put it this way. We're definitely not the good guys.
Man, Final Fantasy 13 is getting, like, all morally grey on us.
There was a lady who said something like she writes the names of everyone she knows in a notebook, and every once in a while she'll read it and see if there's a name she doesn't recognize.
That's incredibly grim.
Yeah.
Anyway, that sure was a boss.
Oh yeah, you killed that thing. It turned yellow and you shot it and did a whole health bar of damage at once. That's strategy, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not really a boss. That was... Like I said, this is basically the tutorial mission, so that was like a mini-boss at best.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we fucked him up real good. Now it's time to go, let's go back into town.
Man, it's weird to have one of those, huge character model, deformed village world maps with a dude who's, like, realistically proportioned. It just looks weird. And, like, relatively high def.
It's like, there comes a point where, like, it just looks like, sufficiently little looks really good that everything else just looks completely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like this dude running around with his Tress Effects hair among these fucking Lego villages. It's just strange.
I mean, like, the old Final Fantasy battle aesthetic with, like, the lineup of sprites on one half of the screen, like, works with the sprite style, but, like, imagine a completely identical system, but with, like, these fully rendered, high definition, high detail characters. Like,
let me tell you about Lost Odyssey.
Right, yes. Lost Odyssey went to some effort to get it to work, but I don't know. I think I'm kind of in denial about Lost Odyssey. I continue to insist that I love it, but maybe I actually hate it.
I absolutely love Lost Odyssey. I'm not trying to shit all over that.
Anyway, so the mayor wanted us to gather everybody so he could give a speech, and then when we did, he was like, man, they're not even fucking here. Why should I even bother?
There's people here, dude. Are you or are you not, you know, a public servant? Serve the public, dude.
Yeah, like this is a coffee shop worth of people, not a town hall. More importantly, this is about as many people as this engine can probably render in one place at one time.
Yeah, I'm gathering that, but did you see how, like, some of that equipment, there was like, oh, only some people can equip this? I don't think that really works when you have 12 playable characters. I mean, you know they were just picking numbers out of a hat when deciding who couldn't wear the bronze bangle, right?
Oh no, anybody could wear the bronze bangle. That was just who already has one equipped.
Oh, shit, alright. Because I was about to say.
Yeah, no, weapons are the only thing that are actually locked on a per-character basis.
And that's just each character has their own kind.
It's pretty JRPG, really. You get one completely generic armor and accessory and a totally unique weapon. Honestly, I think JRPGs kind of miss a trick by not letting people just, like, randomly use each other's weapons, but incredibly incompetently.
You might have missed it, but the game did just invite us via tutorial text pop-up to visit the Crystarium.
The Crystarium, I did see that. I just didn't comment on it because I didn't want to acknowledge it.
Now remember, inside the Crystarium is where the data log is, and it's like much more extensive than the Final Fantasy XIII one.
But is it? But is it any more or less superfluous?
Not any trouble. I would like to ask your assistance.
This is a Star Wars character.
Yes, ma'am?
Like a prequel Star Wars character, right?
Kingdom of Concordia.
Yeah.
We must speak with the Chancellor quickly. We would like to know.
They're
where
even
we
on a
might find
diplomatic
the
mission.
This is CGI George Lucas as
The
hell.
scenery impressed me so that I
Like,
seem to
when's
have
the
gotten
assassination
lost.
attempt gonna start?
The best way to get to the Chancellor's office is by going through that magic portal up ahead.
I mean, if they start talking about a treaty, I'm gonna
It appears
run the
that
hell
we've
away.
taken quite the detour now, haven't we?
You
I mean,
seem
they
so
are
confident.
diplomatic envoys.
I was certain you knew where you were going.
Thank you for your help, young lady. May the path you follow be bright.
Hey, did you know that the C in calm stands for crystal? That's true, it's not just a thing we made up.
Alright, so yeah, now that we're done with the first mission, we have 12 hours of free time, so...
Define hour.
Okay, so we went over this last time, but basically any events that happen in the school itself take 2 hours of free time, and if you leave the school, it costs 6 hours.
Well, okay.
So it's like, if you've ever played Trails of Cold Steel, it's a lot like that.
Is there going to be a lot of, like, ludicrous secret side bullshit that requires you to do really specific things in your very limited amount of free time?
Oh, absolutely, but we're not going to be doing most of it.
Cool. Is this gonna turn into Persona?
So this is the class system that I was talking about last time. Mog will have a bunch of lectures that you can do, and they just, like, there's literally no reason not to, because they take 2 hours apiece and you get a ton of good shit out of it. Like, so like this one, by doing it, we just get a flat 2,000 experience for the entire party. No questions asked. And one of these, skits.
It's got the dopey Kingdom Hearts music.
Calling it a skit seems generous. I mean, like, charming Tales-like characterizing this ain't.
Oh, that was it?
That was it. Yeah,
Wow.
and then the game's like, here's 2 levels for your entire party.
So it seems a bit late to be teaching these people, like, hey, introduction to combat.
There's that, and also, like, they went through the whole thing of writing out a cute little, like, you know, syllabus description on the thing, but to what end? There's no effort put into the rest of it.
I think it's just like an attempt at flavor. Like, some designer thought, like, hey, there should be flavor on this stuff because people like flavor. And it's like, yeah, let's just write some things.
I've got an afternoon free. I've got nothing else to do. I'll write some flavor.
I can believe it. Oh wow, this is such an anime high school, it even plays Westminster Quarters.
Oh, is that the thing with the bells? Where they do, like, stand, bow, be seated?
I don't know about that, but it's that thing that the clocks chime that, you know, everybody in England will recognise. But most people outside of England will associate it only with anime or expensive clocks. But it's a thing in Japanese schools that the clocks all play it.
So the thing you spend your time on is just anybody who has an exclamation mark is ready and willing to suck 2 hours out of your day.
Pretty much.
But which ones will you choose? I'm sure it's very exciting.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now, we don't have a whole lot of choice, but later on, when we start getting more and more free time, there will be side quests that'll ask us to leave the school, and that'll have to be counterbalanced by the fact there'll be like 8 people who want to talk to you, and yeah. It does get... You do get more choices later on. For what little that's worth.
This seems like a prime opportunity to punish players for not being clairvoyant.
Or not buying the strategy guide.
Same thing. Hey, they should have looked it up on Play Online.
Ooh. Is that I heard they made that a Final Fantasy XI thing? And follow-up question, does Final Fantasy XI still exist?
Yes, it does, and they basically named their online system Play Online, even though it wasn't like the same Play Online that you type random codes from the Final Fantasy IX strategy guide into. Also, the original Play Online no longer exists, so all of those codes are useless.
Famous Class Zero.
No one archived it? Oh, what a shame.
Pleasure. Hello.
Why bother?
Face
GameFAQs
to face
exists.
with the star pupil. Your stellar reputation precedes you, Carla.
Oh, that's what they say, but I'm nothing compared to
Right.
you guys.
Is that Sync or Deuce?
So you're
That's
like
Sync.
a good
That's Sync.
student.
Really, I'm not. I just can't abandon anyone in need, that's all.
You are a kind soul.
So, are either of you in need of something?
I need Trey to stop saying such unpleasant things all the time.
I'm tired of her voice already.
What?
Right?
I see, I see.
Like, does she die in the next horribly
you like to sign up
traumatic
for Carla's
cutscene?
self-improvement
Does she get,
You
like,
fix
a bloody
any defective
chocobo?
personality,
Because I'd
hit
be
us
alright
up.
with that.
He'll be your loyal servant in no time.
Defective personality? Servant?
Sign up now, and your first seminar will cost just 250,000 gil.
Who is this lady?
What?
Haha, guys, it's a scam artist, that's why it's funny.
Honestly.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
am
pay
filled with the
you for such a
overwhelming
job.
sense that somebody wants me to
don't hesitate
laugh,
to
but
call
I
me for
don't
any
feel like
problems you
laughing
might
for
have.
some totally unknown reason.
What a character.
Right?
Am I really that unpleasant?
Characters in fiction calling each other characters will never not come off as cute, and I mean cute in a very condescending way.
I was like, you can't write, you wrote these characters, you can't do that and then say, look, what a character. Please give me a raise.
You can do that if you're, like, doing a very particular kind of fourth wall leaning.
You can do that if you're Tommy Wiseau and otherwise not.
Some games can get away with that, and some games cannot get away with that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Type-0 is an extremely well-written game and pulled that off perfectly.
Okay, maybe it would have if I had known who Carla was.
Well, that was our introduction to Carla. Oh, you didn't think we weren't going to see more of her, did you?
I dare to hope.
Well, they did give her blue hair, so assumedly she's going to show up more than once.
Why, hello.
I have a question for you, Emina. How do you have jiggle physics when you're wearing armor?
Freudian slip there.
Jizzle physics? Oh no. I almost said that, didn't I?
Yeah, that aside, that is a very good question.
Now you don't trust me?
Because, like, this is a PSP. They had to work for that shit. That costs processor juice.
My name is Emina.
Assumedly.
I'm a commander of cadets.
This makes...
However,
I
don't have a class at the
but-
moment, so I'm basically no different from any old Tribune. But knowing that someone like you is a cadet, I wish I had a class of my own. I'm sure you'd much rather have me.
Hey, baby,
cross
why
over
don't you leave your boring old
Right?
commander and come with
Come and see
me?
me if you have the time. I never go out
He
to
would,
battle,
too.
so
He's got a
you can always
mullet.
find me in
He'd do it in a heartbeat. He wouldn't even
I'll be
blink.
waiting.
Well, she makes a very compelling case. Let's do exactly what she says. No, wait. Hang on a minute.
I have a problem with the way this game is unfolding in that I don't know what the dudes from Class 0 are all about, except that Sync and Trey are dating, I guess?
No, not really. It's a very interesting dynamic that the class has.
I look forward to seeing
Yeah,
it explored.
Looking for something?
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
incredibly easy to really establish character stuff in a game like this, with a tone like this, with a system like this.
Liberation campaign
Even if you have writing that's much, much, much better than this.
Oh, you know, just some stuff.
I see.
So, I guess even Class
So
0 doesn't
Machina
have access to
has
top
been
secret
looking
missions.
into the liberation of the capital,
Reclassification reports.
something that he knows is classified.
Oh, I was just a little curious.
So he's too curious to live, right?
What are you two talking about?
It's gonna turn out he's a spy or
Nothing
something.
important. See ya.
Either that or just like an enormous, naive idiot.
Did I happen to interrupt something?
What is with the voice acting in this game?
There's something familiar about him.
Something.
It definitely
familiar,
has
you
that
say?
we translated this in a spreadsheet and didn't give our actors any direction feel to it.
Before.
Yeah, I don't think this game had a voice director.
I don't know.
That would explain some things.
That's some top-notch fucking writing there. I don't know. I wish I knew. I do not have a sandwich. I wish I had a sandwich.
And why is there a classroom 0?
Don't worry about it. Next time, we're gonna go murder more people and save the day.
I am not worrying about it. I wish I was worrying about it.